Favoring, opposed, item carries.
Okay, under ordinances, item 21.
Tag.
Tag.
Item has been tagged by Councilmember Cohen and Councilmember Costello. We do have someone in the queue if you both would consider removing your tags for discussion.
I was going to ask for them to remove their tags for discussion.
Yeah, I'll remove the tag for discussion.
Councilmember Cohen has removed hers for discussion. Councilmember Costello.
Okay.
Tag's been removed. Councilmember Martin for discussion.
Yes, before next week, I'd like to get some information on the actual insurance policies that are in place for all three carriers, along with a detailed explanation of, following up on Councilmember started on the last motion, is we passed an equal rights ordinance last week. And yesterday we found out that the two new entries into the city do not have a point within their business model to pick up disabled folks. So I'd like a detailed explanation. I don't want to see it a 5-year plan. I don't want to see it at 5%. I want to see it immediate and at the same levels as we have today. So those two issues, clarification on the disabled handicap portion and clarification on the insurance contracts that are presently in place to make sure that we protect public safety. So thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Councilmember. We made a note of that. The administration has been working on the wheelchair accessibility issue. Some information was released yesterday, but we don't know if that's complete enough or comprehensive enough. So, but thank you for raising the questions. Councilmember Brett.
Thank you kindly. I want to ask Councilman Martin, is he asking for actual copies of the policies or an interpretation from ARA, what the coverage affects, or what specifically are you asking
I'm
for?
specifically referring to actual policies of the present insurance policies in place today with these carriers in other cities that they will be implementing here in Houston, Texas. The actual policies themselves, not interpretations.
Thank you. And if I may, I'd like to, Mr. Feldman,
Attorney Fong.
yes.
I'm sorry,
Councilmember
Thank you.
Brett.
Thank you. Mr. Feldman, would you render an opinion next week also regarding the issue that has been raised, and we talked at length yesterday at the public session about the effect of the policies as it relates to what mode or what status the vehicle operated is in, you know, whether there is coverage via their private policy when they are operating clearly for hire mode as well, because that was part of a discussion on yesterday as well. I'm concerned that we get the policy and some of us may not be able to interpret or understand the language in the particular policy, so I would appreciate an opinion from you regarding the effects of the policy as it relates to the various modes or status of availability that the operators may be in. Am I clear enough on my question?
Yes, sir. Yes, I understand. We'll furnish you with an opinion on that. And obviously, there are different types of policies that are written. A lot comes down to the individual policies, but I understand your concern. Yes, it's something that has been talked about and we can furnish an opinion on.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, Mayor.
Councilor Kubash.
What's going to have to be addressed in this, the administration has got to solve the insurance issue, the criminal background. They have to meet the same guidelines as the current cab companies. They have to play by the same rules. Also, the fact that they have goals. You know, I have a goal to lose 100 pounds. You know, so you can have a goal. Nobody's going to punish you if you don't meet your goal. So, you know, this idea of having a goal implemented, I see that in our OVO. We have goals, and it frustrates me because they don't have to necessarily comply with them. The other thing is, what I'm concerned is with these companies coming in. I believe that what's going to happen is we're we're gonna start having a part-time cab company business, where their part-timers gonna be doing it when they don't have anything else to do. They're gonna use their car to be picking people up, and it may really have an adverse effect on our disabled and those who really rely on the cabs in minority areas. So I'm just saying that these issues really need to be addressed. I would really wish that the administration would and we'll talk next week about referring it back, because they have to perfect these issues before we can vote properly on it. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Stark.
Thank you. Like we've talked about for weeks again, and just like I spoke on the previous item, we talk about inclusiveness. What are the unintended consequences of our actions here at council? I think there are a lot of genius people that are working on this that could come up with reasonable accommodations, and I don't think they've been put to the test. With that said, after what I read in this other item earlier, 18, we depend on a lot of the staff and the city attorney to give us guidance and do a lot of the legwork for us. I have 3 staffers right now in my office, and we've been handling 12,000 emails and hundreds of phone calls a day on other issues. And then we come to this one that's very critical and just as important to our citizens and to the city of Houston. And we were given amendments yesterday that I'm not sure that has been given back to the commissions on disability. I'm not confident that it has been. Now, whether it has or hasn't, did they get an opportunity to digest it and go back and discuss it with others and to hash through the unintended consequences again? I think when we look at the fact that we have a doorbell, Councilmember Robinson, I showed you this week, we have a doorbell for access to City Hall for persons in wheelchairs to sit out in the heat, 100-degree heat in the city of Houston to wait for someone to open the door for them, or in the rain, or whatever the case may be. And this is the year 2014. It's sad. So do I think this is probably a good thing? Yes, but at the same time, I still have to ask the questions because I may not understand what the unintended consequences are. And to assume that we would have equal access and inclusiveness at City Hall when we have a doorbell for persons in a wheelchair, I can't assume anymore, and I can't take for granted, and I can't trust. I have to question. So I'm questioning now, is this the right thing, and is there not an opportunity for these vendors coming into the city of Houston, who are the new players? And we talk about, the loyalties to those that have been with us for years. We know what their work is. I also think there's opportunities with Metro, that Metro is here and was here, supporting another item, that they step up to the plate and figure a way to support the persons with disabilities in a better way. So I still have questions, and I hope that the administration will respect that.
Thank you. Councilmember, I think because of the discussion and to a large extent because of your dialogue, I think the administration has been moving to try to address some of those issues. As I stated, I think yesterday, that maybe it's not comprehensive enough yet, or maybe it's the will of council that we want to be even more expansive on those requirements. But I think the fine balance has to be that then they also have to require that of every company as well. And, those are cost factors that have to be considered for all of them. So that's a policy decision that does need to be made.
If I may, there's also opportunities with applications that you don't necessarily, if you get to choose your vehicle, your preference, an SUV versus whatever in your app, then why wouldn't you have the opportunity to say that I need a lift on my vehicle in that application? Why wouldn't you, that's reasonable accommodations. It's showing dignity and respect to people as a whole.
Sure. Definitely understand and
So I think, I don't want to be the one solving the problems. I got other issues in my district that we're trying to resolve and address and respond to our constituents. And then this item's brought forward, and you've been working on it for a year, staff. We've had it for however long, but yeah, we've got 20 other items. This was your focus. We've got 20 other things that we've been focused on. So I'm not making excuses, and I just want everybody to understand in the public that it's something that's that important to me that I think we need to consider, and it would not hurt to ask those folks. And we can vote it up today with the understanding that I want those conversations to continue, but I would not support it as it is today.
And
Thank
those
you.
discussions are taking place, so thank you. Councilmember Gallegos.